Coming up on the Sports Desk. Did we miss something? Somebody around town shows up big time after a disappointing start to their season. Apparently they plan on arriving at the party fashionably late all along. And the Lady Knights at Bishop Montgomery get things going on the court. All the preseason and non-league madness they can handle before it's time to take on the Del Rey League. And speaking of non-league matchups, another squad gearing up for their dates with the Bay League by handing some Pioneer League schools an early season handful. It's another week, it's another show, the Sports Desk, folks, and it starts right now. What's up, Torrance? Welcome to another week of South Bay Sports Prep action with me, your host, Wan Hernandez, here on the Sports Desk. So, how much can we possibly learn about a team in just 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks? In prep football, if you wait that long to see where a squad stacks up, by the time you blink, you'll be lucky if you get your bearings by senior night. At North High, those first 2 weeks flew by real fast, with a 49-12 thumping handed down by Redondo, only to be followed up by a 51-point shutout defeat at the hands of PV Penn. 2 road losses and 2 early season blowouts. A scary opening for the defending Pioneer League champs, but every week is a new opportunity, and maybe, just maybe, the Saxons could return the favor of those 2 big losses in their first home game of the 2013 season. Tamerlada has that story.
First quarter. The sophomore quarterback connected with running back Corey Cox on the 40-yard line as he juked his way into the end zone. Saxons up 14-0. Still first quarter. The Saxons defense set the tone early after a fumble is recovered by Ira Moore. Second quarter. Corey Cox was too much for Luzinger's defense, picking up his 3rd touchdown of the game. The Saxons lead 34-0 at halftime. Third quarter. The 6'2", 200-pound quarterback sprinted his way past 3 white jerseys to open the second half, returning the open kick 93 yards. Still third quarter. Saxons quarterback will kick the ball himself and score on a 15-yard run. Saxons up 55-0. Senior wide receiver Trenzell Golar scores his first touchdown, and the Saxons get a huge win over Luzinger, 61-0.
Great win. Felt great. We came out all week in practice, all hitting. Just great. We all came together at one.
I learned that when we come out excited to play, that we can, anything is possible. Losing it, they came out and fought hard, and we wanted it more. And I feel like our team, with our skill, our speed, even though we're undersized, people can underestimate us with anything. So anything can happen.
We were so flat last week, and we had every excuse in the book, and it was nice to see everybody come out excited and ready to play. First one at home, and they capitalized on about everything that they could tonight.
We're going to come out, do the same thing, same intensity, fired up again, practice harder, and get ready for Bishop.
The Saxons earned their first victory at home and hope to bring the same energy against the undefeated Bishop Montgomery on Friday night. From North High School, I'm Tamerlada, reporting for the Sports Desk.
North High treats its fans to a serious bounce-back surprise. Mickey Juarez and Corey Cox leading the way on offense. There's no need to even look at the full game stat lines for these two because it was so out of hand after the first 2 quarters. Juarez and Cox connect for 86 yards alone. Cox added another 76 on the ground, while Juarez passed for a total of 117 yards in 9 attempts. Deductive math coming up here, and it'll all make sense in just a second. The Saxons outgained Luzinger 264 yards to 81 in that first half. The QB and his running back accounted for all but about 50 of those yards in one way or another. So pretty much the duo more than lapped their opponents on offense. And as you saw there, next up for the Saxons now will be the Bishop Montgomery Knights. If ever there were a time to keep that offense firing, it would be now. The Knights sitting at 3-0 after a Bellarmine-Jefferson forfeit in their 2 previous games. Bishop Montgomery outscored their opponents 73-6. So if we're lucky, these two might treat us to a barn burner. Okay, everybody, time for our first break of the day. When we get back, the El Camino Warriors having a good old time in their first game at Murdoch Stadium, getting the Murdoch Madness started early this fall. See you in a few.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Hello, Torrance. Welcome back with us here on the Sports Desk. Time to talk Elko football. By now, we already know all eyes are on first-year starter Cole Webb as the spark to get the Warriors offense going. And with this being the final season, the El Camino College community will get to enjoy historic Murdoch Stadium. A lot of people are counting on the Warriors to follow through. Looks like the Warriors of old, scoring points and winning plenty of football games. Jenny Phillips heads out to take in the last first home game at Murdoch Stadium between Elko and Allen Hancock.
This is our last first game here at Murdoch Stadium for the Warriors. Now Elko is looking to get their first win tonight as they host Allen Hancock.
Elko hot early, up 3-0 in the first, and Cole Webb finds Aaron Ussery for the 15-yard touchdown pass. Warriors ahead 10-0. 15 minutes left in the second, Elko up 17-10, Webb again. He hits John Siffrin in the end zone for a 2-yard score. Warriors extend their lead 24-10. Into the third, and the Bulldogs aren't giving up yet. They're fired up and rattle off 2 quick, unanswered TDs, led by quarterback Troy Prober. Allen Hancock takes their first lead of the game, 27-24. Still in the third, and the Warriors have a response. Martin Booker finds his way into the end zone for a 2-yard touchdown. Minutes later, the Warriors offense is back on the field, and Webb hits Ross Stribling in the end zone for a score. Webb finishes with 286 yards and 3 TDs. Elko's back up 38-27. This time the Bulldogs don't have an answer. Final score, 51-27 Warriors. For the first time in a while, this Elko team looks like they're having fun playing football.
It feels great. Actually come off of the win with 51 points and at home, man, it feels great. Our team established that we need to get this win because this sets our tone for the whole season.
It being the last of the first home games here at Murdoch Stadium, it's a good way to send it off.
Everyone played well, so everyone's feeling good. Come out with a big win. We all feel like we're little kids again playing pickup football. So that's the atmosphere we like here, especially in Murdoch.
Clearly, this is not the same Warriors team that we saw last year. Now, on defense and special teams, they have showed toughness and resilience tonight. Offense, 51 points, that speaks for itself. The Warriors are looking forward to continuing their role as they go on to play Pasadena here in Murdoch Stadium next weekend. From El Camino, I'm Jenny Phillips for the Sports Desk.
There they are, 51 points. You remember I dropped the stat on you before the season got started. In last year's 8 losses, the Warriors scored an average of 18.5 points per game, 52.5 when they came off the field with a W. Cole Webb, 21 of 29 for almost 300 yards. His 3 TD passes on the night, contributing to the 27-point run Elko went on down the stretch to close this one out. Cole Webb also doing his thing on the ground. 4 times he tucked it and ran, 71 yards rushing for the sophomore QB. But the man didn't do it all himself. Those 21 completed passes I mentioned earlier spread out between 11 different receivers on the night. All in all, a well-rounded win for El Camino. More Warrior action from El Camino College now. The ladies volleyball squad jumping into the 7th annual El Camino College Classic, ranked number 9 to start the season in the opening top 25 poll. They split day 1, first losing to number 7 Santa Barbara in 5 sets. 4 players in that match record double-digit digs. Later on in the day, the Warriors took on another ranked opponent, number 14 Cyprus. This one only required 4 sets for Elko to put it all away. Next up, in the world of El Camino volleyball, the ladies traveled down to the San Diego Mesa Invitational. Elko cross country also making some headlines in their season preview action. They took on the top 30 programs in the state at Santa Clarita's Southern California Preview Invitational. 192 athletes total, top 30 teams in California, and the Warriors finished 6th overall. Just one South Coast Conference team topped them at the event, Cerritos, the second place overall finishers. And back to the high school game now. When we first met this year's West Warriors, Coach Greg Holt told us the key to keeping up with the ultra-competitive Bay League would be their depth. And with the roster chocked full of untested talent, the only way they'd get to develop that depth is, of course, going to be getting the second and third string athletes onto the field. At Torrance High, the Pioneer League may not feature the same heavy hitters that West High faces week in and week out, but with an offensive game plan that next to nobody can fully prepare for, a Tartars-Warriors matchup was intriguing. A spread versus the double wing T, the first team in West High's September tour through the Pioneer League. Sometimes, nothing can be more simple than the start of a football season. Not enough game tape to overanalyze every opponent, not enough game experience to have your own strengths and weaknesses ironed out. So, there's often not much left to do beyond show up and play football, at least for a few more weeks. In the case of the Tartars and the Warriors' Week 2 non-league matchup, those factors led to a 46-7 blowout that has both teams on diverging roads in 2013.
It takes a little bit. You got to see what they're doing. It's hard to emulate this offense that Torrance has, on the scout team. So, we took a series or two, settled in a little bit, and started playing. And I thought we played pretty well on defense.
For the Warriors, the blowout win was a chance to get athletes in the game with little to no battle testing, a factor that will weigh heavily on their chances against a Bay League that looks as strong as ever early on.
Yeah, well, that's what I told them at halftime. We have an opportunity tonight to get our football team better because, your depth is so critical when you get down the road. And so, the young guys got in, they got a chance to play, and we'll go study the film a little bit. I think it was a little sloppy. The penalties and whatnot, the alignment things, that bothers me. But as far as them running around and playing football, I thought they did a nice job.
And for the Tartars, it was a game they'd likely hope to forget. Get the kinks out now before taking on El Segundo and the other Torrance schools in Pioneer League play. But at least for one night at Zamperini Stadium, all eyes really were on the Warrior roster. If we've learned anything about the West Warriors early on, it's how much new quarterback Zach Heger will love facing man coverage. A clear favorite route, a sideline fade to bigger receivers like senior Craig Nouse, who seemed to pull in the throw it up and watch him come down with it passes against smaller defenders with ease. In fact, Heger loves the play so much, he tossed it on consecutive plays from scrimmage in the first half. And don't forget the running back who only needed 8 carries to rack up triple-digit yardage and 2 TDs, showing that the flashy Warrior offense can be as much about quality as they will be quantity in 2013. So the West Warriors officially off to a hot start in 2013. Before they get into the anticipated matchups in league play, the rest of their non-league schedule will be a tour through the Pioneer League. El Segundo up next, the early season Pioneer League favorite. As for Torrance, they'll take on West League opponents, Peninsula and Lusinger. So now that the Tartars and the Warriors have faced off, perhaps they'll become each other's scout teams with a month before league play. Who knows? One team both of these squads will be facing this season, the South Spartans, settling into their season with the second game of 2013. Another frustrating one for South, a 41-33 loss against Rosemead. The Spartans have a huge second quarter, but Rosemead's 28 second half points, too steep of a price to pay. And unfortunately for the Spartans, things will not be getting easier anytime soon. Miracosta, West High, PV Penn, and Torrance. That's what the Spartans' calendar looks like over the next 4 weeks. Hey, time for one more break. This time we'll move on to the court where the Bishop Montgomery Knights are up against some heavy hitters in South Bay volleyball.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close. Of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
What's up, South Bay sports fans? Welcome back to another segment on the Sports Desk. You've got all the football updates on the week here in Torrance, but this is the South Bay, and we all know volleyball plays second fiddle to no one around these parts. Keegan Featherstone has taken over the reins at Bishop Montgomery. She's no stranger to what it takes to being an elite leader and coach. Considering her father, John Featherstone pushed the El Camino Warriors football program toward a national title and nationwide recognition, so maybe raising the bar at Bishop from local strength to Southland powerhouse wouldn't be too much to ask from the Knights faithful. Their first chance to see what the younger Featherstone will build at Bishop? No sense in taking on any old ho-hum South Bay volleyball team. You might as well jump in with the best of them. Reina Ale takes us to Keegan Featherstone's coaching debut against the Redondo Seahawks.
The Knights started preseason play with Redondo Union, and although the girls came up short, Coach Featherstone was pleased with the girls' energy and performance.
I saw a lot of really good things from our girls, and even more things that we need to work on. But the girls are ready to go. I mean, they're wanting to work hard. I know that Redondo was going to be a tough match. Having this be our first match, hopefully the girls think of it as a challenge, and that's the level that they want to be by the end of the season, so that we can hang a banner and continue with that goal.
Sarah Dargan led the Knights with 7 kills, and Ashley Murray added 5 kills and 2 blocks. According to senior Miranda Reynolds, the team is ready to do whatever it takes to have a winning season.
Today we really showed what we could do together. It showed us the little things that we need to work on, definitely. We are going to focus on staying strong throughout the whole game and just fine-tuning little things like defense and keeping the balls in play. The future is definitely going to be bright, and so I'm hoping the girls get excited about this and are willing to come back and really work hard to end on a good note.
Although Bishop suffered a tough loss tonight against Redondo, they still have the rest of the season to look forward to. In Torrance, this is Reina Ale reporting for the Sports Desk.
Thanks for that, Reina. Now stay tuned for more volleyball action and storylines on the girls' volleyball season throughout Torrance. Next week, we meet the South Spartans, see if they can separate themselves from the pack after North High's surprising season in 2012. And anything you might want to see on the show, you can always check in with us online. Go to our Facebook page and see what we're up to throughout the week. We'll update you there on what's going on and what's to come on the show, so share it with your friends. You can catch all your favorite CitiCABLE 3 shows online now. That's going to be it for us this week. We will see you next time, everybody. Have a good one.